American Progress. Daniela Gibbs-Leger, Communications Director for American Crossroads, Jonathan Collegio, and Associate Editor and columnist for the Hill newspaper, A.B. Stoddard. A.B., I'll start with you. Okay, so we know the negotiations between the White House, they're going okay. You know, they're swapping proposals. It looks, I think they're a lot closer. They both want to pretend they're not a lot closer to getting hit from left. But now the Plan Bs are in motion because time is of the essence. And we see this Plan B, which is different from the Senate Plan B, which is simply extend at 250.
Right. I think actually it's more than okay. I think this is really evidence that they want to move and they want this to be done with. Plan B is let everyone vote for what they want to vote for and then held to vote on what they don't like. And it's a way out.
This is the two-vote situation.
The two-bill.
Right. Boehner will throw this bill out there, maybe another one, and then the 251 that the House has done, and then whichever one gets through.
Because everyone wants to say voted to oppose.
Right, exactly.
And that's fine, but I think this really is evidence, Chuck, that John Boehner wants to not go over the cliff, and I think the president has given as well. I think they want this to end. Yeah.
Jonathan and Daniela, your respective bases don't like what each has done. Daniela, I'll start with you because I think that we give so much attention to the tax issue. The president's big give was not on taxes. The big give, if you will, was on this changing of the Consumer Price Index, which has a direct impact on Social Security benefits. Something that I know some members of the progressive community said should be off limits. What happens if the president's already given on this deal, and we're not even done with negotiations?
Well, I think the details still have to come out, but from what I'm reading, there will be some exceptions, I believe, to some of our most vulnerable communities, meaning the super elderly, veterans, disabled. So I think that progressives are, at the top, they're like, well, I don't like the way this sounds, but I think that we're going to have to wait and see exactly if there are some exceptions that are carved out. But everybody knew going into this that both sides were going to have to give, so I don't think this comes as a huge shock to people. The devil's in the details, and I think we have to wait to see that. But both sides are moving, and AB's right. Like, they want a deal. They don't want to go over a cliff.
I was just going to say, both seem, well, it's not just the cliff. They both want a deal because they want to do some business in 2013. I think that ultimately is the bigger issue. If they don't get a deal, there'll be personal recriminations.
Yeah, I mean, Speaker Boehner has the toughest job in Washington because he didn't just win an election. So he has to keep all the guys in his caucus, and the way to do that is really to make sure that we're talking about balance here. And I think he's done that because the president's first kind of offer at the table didn't include a lot of spending cuts, and I think that the closer he gets to $1 trillion in real spending cuts, I mean, Republicans have been burned on tax increases before, where you've had immediate tax increases followed by spending cuts that never materialized. Insofar as
what do you think is happening here, though?
Cuts.
Heritage Action, Club for Growth, both just trashed Boehner's offer, the sort of the counteroffer that he made over the weekend, which was a big give on tax rates.
He's in a tough situation on his right. Remember that they also came out against him in the debt limit talks back in the summer of 2000. So that's just a fact of life. But I think he's doing a lot of good work, and he's really trying to extract the maximum amount of spending cuts that he can.
AB, when you look at this try to look at it from 2008, they really aren't that far apart, right? We're looking the income threshold, 400,000 is where the White House is. They're at $1 million. Boy, I can split 600 in half, so there's 700,000. One wants $1 trillion in tax hikes, one wants 1.2. The Speaker's office says the math is taking 1.3. Okay, fine, we're getting within one. We're really fighting over two. Sometimes in this town, $200 billion is a lot of money, and sometimes they treat it. No, but my point is, sometimes they treat it as a lot of money, and I got Republicans tell me, oh no, that's a lot, a big difference. Sometimes it's a small amount of money.
At this hour, it's nothing. Just the fact, like I said, that they're always going to lose the Club for Growth. That's their job, is to oppose no matter what Boehner offers. And the president, listen, this most important thing, Chuck, the White House said this is not our final offer.
Yes,
which means they will budge again.
They're going to move again. The question is where. And it may be, and what Boehner's demanding is more on the cuts front. Yeah, that they feel like it wasn't really balanced because they counted interest. All right, when we come back, I want to talk a little Tim Scott. We have another new senator. We'll be right back. More from the Gaggle. Busy week.
Up a bit, up a bit, up, down, up. Perfect.
Spider ETF investors are willing to accept some imprecision in their lives, just not in their investments.
Good evening and welcome to the 6 o'clock news.
Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call 1-866-787-2257 for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully.
I can say anything, and Dragon's speech recognition software will capture it with amazing ease and accuracy. You talk, it types. It's that simple. If you're a student, own a business, Have a disability or injury that makes it difficult to use your computer? Want to write a family history or just aren't that good at typing? You have to try Dragon. Send email to Harry. Hi Harry, you were right. Dragon is easy and amazingly accurate. Select amazingly. Underline that. Smiley face. Click send. Dragon includes amazing technology that truly improves your life. It's a fantastic tool that anyone can use and everyone can benefit from. So give us a call.
Normally $99.99. On this special holiday offer, Dragon, it's just $74.99. Call now and get 2 free gifts, a USB headset and a copy of Family Tree Maker. That's over $150 in value. So call or visit GiveDragon.com now.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get a talking meter and enjoy pain-free testing. These new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Call now, and Arriva Medical will send you one of these new meters for free.
Your blood glucose reading is 122 milligrams per deciliter.
And if you have Medicare, your testing supplies may also be covered. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs. And they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
And if you call 1-800-717-0878 today, we'll send you a free Betty Crocker Diabetes Cookbook filled with delicious recipes. That's 1-800-717-0878.
Call Arriva today. You'll be glad you did.
The Ed Show with Ed Schultz, weeknights at 8 Eastern on MSNBC.
Washington, D.C. doesn't have the good name it used to have, but it did have a good name because he created, through Franklin Roosevelt's program, a GI Bill. It created a national highway system under Eisenhower. It created a system of health care for people over 65. It did really good things. We got to get back to that, and then Washington will have a good name again.
It is very important to me, as a minority female, that Congressman Scott earned this seat. He earned this seat for the person that he is. He earned this seat for the results he has shown. He earned this seat for what I know he's going to do in making South Carolina and making our country proud.
Let's bring back the gaggle here. Daniela Gibbs-Leger, Jonathan Collegio, A.B. Stoddard. Daniela, the only African-American Senate as a conservative Republican from South Carolina.
Congratulations.
It is something, though, that the Republicans, they feel as if, hey, you know, we know we have a lot of issues with non-white America.
Yes, it is.
Can Tim Scott help?
No, and I felt pained when I heard her have to keep saying he earned it, he earned it, he earned it. Well, I assume that he earned it. Why do you feel like you have to keep saying that? Oh, it's because of your party and the makeup of your party. Republicans have always been good about, you know, putting people of color on stage and up front and promoting them through the ranks, and they deserve some credit for that. But when you look at their policies, that's what turns off people of color, not
Jonathan,
the fact that they don't have people.
That has been the issue, right? Republicans have, as Danielle points out, the people on stage look like America. President Bush's cabinet look like America, but it is not translated.
Well, also the Democrats heavily target the black Republicans in Congress over the last election cycle. I mean, Allen West had one of the hardest re-election fights of anyone, and Mia Love, they spent a lot of money knocking her down as a challenger in Utah. So I think it's I think it's great that he's a conservative, and I think that he'll be hard to knock out in South Carolina.
Tim, I was just going to say, who's going to have the hardest time at re-election? Nikki Haley, Lindsey Graham, or Tim Scott in 2014, AB?
I don't know. For different reasons, they're each under a challenge. Lindsey Graham probably the most, but I would say that as someone who's covered the Congress since 1994, I think it's really great that there's an African American in the Senate.
It's still odd.
And she wasn't going to appoint a liberal, by the way.
Right.
No, exactly. Right. Shameless plug, baby. I'll start with you.
Christmas is a week from today, and I'm really hoping that everyone will spend an hour online finding out how they can help the survivors of the Sandy Hook shootings. There's a great piece in USA Today with a bunch of ideas.
Excellent idea. Jonathan.
My wife Rebecca's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, honey.
ThinkProgress.org has some great coverage about the upcoming gun debate and some sensible solutions we can put forth now. And to AB's point, United Way has going on in Connecticut.
Richard Engel, you know you'll never pay for a drink with anybody if you're ever with anybody at NBC. That's it for this edition of the Daily Rundown. We'll see you right